This is Real Talk Baseball and Carlos Baseball. With me is Jamal J. Dizzle. We're going to talk about all baseball in this hour or so. You know, we're not going to go all the way. Probably we will. I don't know. We're going to have interesting topics. But before we go through our topics, how's it going over there, Jamal?
It is going pretty well. I can't complain. Another exciting day of baseball just went down, and who would have guessed the A's are atop the AL West? What in the world is going on here?
Yeah.
But before we go on any further, on a little bit of a somber note, we had someone pass away in the MLB community today. Phil Gardner, who was a big piece of that 1979 Pittsburgh Pirates World Series championship team there, and also was a manager for the 2005 Houston Astros World Series champs.
Yeah.
He passed away today after a long bout with cancer. So we want to extend our thoughts and prayers and well wishes to his family right now. And Carlos, that wasn't the only passing we had this week.
No, it wasn't. We actually had another one earlier this week. We had Davey Lopes, a second baseman for the Dodgers in the 70s and 80s. And if you guys remember, he was part of that coaching staff in Philadelphia with the Philadelphia Phillies in 2008 when they won the World Series. And of course, Davey Lopes did win that World Series in 81 with the Dodgers. He was part of that four uh, 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 best infield. Supposedly, they say that Dodgers ever had. I wasn't around. I didn't get to see that, but he was one of those players that led the league in stealing in 75 and 76. He was one of those guys that players look to try to see what they can pick off of him to try to get better in base stealing and getting better in base paths. So he passed away on Wednesday. He passed away from Parkinson's disease. That's one of the diseases that we don't know a lot about, and they're trying to do a lot of research for. But he died at the age of 80. My dad has Parkinson's, so I kind of hold it a little dear to my heart because I do understand that Parkinson's is not something easy to deal with, and he went through it and he had some complications. So, I mean, rest in peace, Davey Lopes, and the two guys that passed away, legendary. Especially when baseball loses two big players and two guys that were really known around the league, it touches everybody. But you know what? There's still baseball to go around, and we do give our thoughts and prayers to all the families that lost someone in baseball, of course, and definitely we do remember them, and we do talk about that old vintage baseball, and without that. We wouldn't be able to have the baseball we have now. But let's get to it, Jamal. Our topics today, and it's going to be pretty interesting to talk about this because there's a lot of people talking about these subjects in baseball right now, and I want to hear your thoughts, of course, because you're a Yankees fan, and I think that one's I'm excited about. We're going to talk about the two lowest batting averages, and we have Jazz Chisholm and Osuna on it, so we'll talk about that in first topics of weather, and of course we'll do the teams that got swept this week. Some interesting teams are on there, and we'll talk a little bit about there. We'll talk about Mets and the Rangers. They're kind of slumping. Rangers did get a win today, but I kind of feel like they can do a lot better. You just said the A's are in first place instead of the Rangers, instead of the Astros, and what the heck is going on out there, right? And our last question, of course, we're going to have, are we ever going to see a complete game no-hitter? Because we have a no-hitter earlier this week, and it wasn't a no-hitter, but it was a pitcher that was, had a no-hitter, and they took him out in the sixth inning. So we'll talk about that. But let's get into it, man. Let's talk about Jazz Chisholm, the second lowest batting average, dude. And you're a Yankees fan. I know you're going to be kind of excited to talk about this, or not excited to talk about this. What do you say about that, man?
Yeah, I'm not excited at the moment, especially after a sweep at the hands of the Rays, which we'll get into. But yeah, right now, Jazz Chisholm, like he was talking about the weather impacting everything, and definitely some truth to that. But 3 games in a warmer climate in Florida, and we're still getting Jazz Chisholm batting well below the Mendoza line,
Yeah.
and it's still he's still looking for that groove there. I will say on a positive note that he is still, when he is getting on base, he is still running the base path and doing a pretty good job there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, okay, he's under that Mendoza batting average line, right? And then you're talking about Osuna that he's getting booed in Pittsburgh, and you're talking about all places, Pittsburgh, and he's batting what is it, .56 or something so low that his
Point 51. Yeah.
50 now? Okay. So yeah, that's bad. And people are booing him out there. I guess the Braves really got rid of him because he wasn't going to do anything in Atlanta. So that's why they didn't sign him. So Pittsburgh went and signed him, and now he's batting .51. Like, did you expect him to do this, or did you expect him to actually pick it up? Because it's still early, right?
Yeah, it's still very early, but there are some takeaways there. I'm a little more optimistic with Jazz Chisholm than I am Marcell Ozuna. One of those factors being that Ozuna is entering his age 35 year. And this is, whereas Jazz Chisholm, 7 years younger, going to be 28 or is 28.
Yeah.
The 35 is where you kind of start looking like, oh, is there going to be a decline here for the long haul? The positives are that he's walking at 11.4% rate still, and the strikeouts are at a pretty manageable 22.9%. So
Okay.
those are some positives there for him. And look, we don't expect him to hit .50 the rest of the season. That average is going to come up.
Yeah,
So
of course not. Yeah.
it's going to be some positive regression there. But it's all in the matter of how much that batting average gets up. And I wouldn't expect it to get over, at least 225 or something like that, expected wise. The StatCast advanced stats did not look super great, but still, it's going to be way better than this. He's a much better hitter than this.
Yeah, he is. He is a much better hitter than what he has, done. And Ernie is over here saying that Jazz Chisholm Jr. asked reporters to explain the rules of baseball to him in that interview, and it didn't look well for Jazz Chisholm, right? And thank you, Ernie, for that. And we're talking about his batting average right now, and he did say that he wanted to do the 50-50. He wanted to be one of those players that reached that, point where he's the greatest, and he is on contract year too. Could he be putting a lot of pressure on himself?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anytime you're coming into the season and you're talking 50-50 here,
Yeah.
That's especially if you're going to do that in New York.
Woo, yeah.
You better be ready to come out with the hot stick here. So,
yeah.
But no, I do think he put some undue pressure on himself by doing that. And it may have hurt the team overall a little bit, but like I said, he's still got 3 runs scored, 3 RBI. It's a .482 OPS right now, which is pretty ugly, but
Yeah.
I think that batting average is going to come up very soon for him.
It is. And, every baseball player has that chance to do it. They play every day. They got a chance to, adjust. And remember, the game of baseball is adjustments. It's not a game where you go show up and you just stand there and you do nothing. No, it's a game of adjustments, and it's going to happen for him, just like fielding. And I wanted to go to that one play that we discussed yesterday, because they did lose yesterday because of that ball that was hit to Jazz Chisholm. But I don't think it was his fault at all, man. A lot of people are taking it to a next level to where, oh, he should have done a double. He should have tagged him. He should have thrown it to first. And then why is he asking if he needed to throw to first, tag him first and then throw to first? I mean, look, there was someone in front of him. I guess Boone had brought in the 5th infielder, and they had 2 outfielders. I believe that was Bellinger playing in front of him, right? So they were playing that different, fielding to where Bellinger was in front of him, and then Chaz Chisholm was back. In those type of plays, when you're trying to get a double play, the second baseman is always going to be playing back, and the shortstop's going to be playing back. So there was no way that he was going to run up and get that ball and get a double play. I've never seen, unless you have Kirk running from home plate to first, because he's the slowest base runner, right? So
unless he's Usain Bolt and he's got a bat all of a sudden.
Exactly. So I think a lot of people took it to a next extreme to say that, oh no, he doesn't know baseball, he doesn't know what he's doing out there. Like, no, come on, guys. Like, when you're put in front of the mic, and this is what we're doing right now, when we're in front of a mic, we have to talk about what we know about baseball. It's not easy. And then you have all the reporters coming to you and asking you, like, what's going on? Like, why did you miss that ball? What were you thinking? What was your game plan? And when he said what he said, I understood where he was coming from. He was just kind of like, okay, if I would have not tagged him and then thrown to first, what would we have lost or won? Like I'm genuinely asking why, because I would not be able to get the person that was running next to me because he stopped. So I had to throw it at first and then maybe tag him a second. But by that time, this run would have scored. It was only run one out. So maybe he got a little confused of what was going on in his mind. He has a good baseball IQ. Some of us have better baseball IQs, like we talked about Machado in a few weeks back, right? And I mean, I'm just defending the guy, man. I don't see any harm. I felt like that ball should have been maybe played by Bellinger, or he would have been playing a little bit closer. I don't know. He was playing for a double play to play it in the back, not in the front. So I mean, let's give him a break, right?
Yeah, and it takes me back to the pitcher there for the Phillies there, the last year's NL wild card, Kierkegaard, where he
Oh
made the
yeah,
play there. Sometimes it's like the heat of the moment. You're just looking to try to make a play, as fast as you can. It's easy for us to sit here and watching at home or wherever and say no, like what's going on, but to be in real time and try
yeah,
to figure out a play that's going to decide the game. I think that could be pretty challenging. Even like you said, you have the highest IQ,
yeah.
nerves and crowd. You get in front of 20,000 or more people. The nerves get there. So
Yeah.
I think that was one of those instances here, and I think this is an instance he'll be able to put behind him and get much better from as the season goes on.
Ernie saying 50 errors, 50 excuses. And that wasn't the only excuse that Ernie that he used. He said that he wasn't batting that well because it's cold out there. And you know what? I can relate. When I was a kid and I would play in cold weather, I wouldn't hit. Baseball is played in the summer. It's not played in the winter. Like, what the hell? How cold is it out there in the East Coast right now, Jamal?
Oh man, we're talking Vermont right now. We've actually reached 50 degrees, I think, today, which is like 80. If we're talking the way it's been right now. We just here on the East Coast and especially the Northeast, it just feels like on some days it's not ever going to become spring. So you look
Yeah.
at people like the Yankees players right now, the Red Sox, some of these climates where it's just not getting warm. Yeah.
Yeah. And see, that's a thing. Like, if you're saying that it's 50 over there and you're used to playing in hot weather, they were in Florida. Of course, in Florida weather, they're probably like 70, 80 degrees out there, and they're in the dome. They're playing comfortable baseball. But I don't know. I've heard people actually say that when it's cold, it's hard to grip the bat the right way, grip the ball the right way, hold your glove, be out there, standing, jumping around when every time they pitch the ball, and it's hard. And when it's hot, your body gets loose a lot faster. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to give them that at least. I know it's 50, 50, 50 errors, 50 excuses, and it's gonna happen. Like it's never like that. We got Ernie Orange on the chat. What's it going, man? It's his
What's
day
up,
off
Ernie?
today, so we're just chatting it up baseball. You know how we do it, man. We're talking about Chance Chisholm and the play that happened out there in Florida. So I mean, I don't know what else you want to say about Chance Chisholm. I think he's just, genuinely, I honestly think that he just wanted to have a different play in his mind. He wanted to say it different to the press, and it just didn't come out right. And like I said, I honestly don't believe that he was going to go ahead and make that play anyway, because like I
Yeah.
said, Bellinger was in front of him. Bellinger should have
Right.
been able to cut it off, or should have been able to. I don't know. It was just executed the perfect way for the Rays to win that game. So
Yeah.
yeah, it sucks. So all right, we go to the next one, man, and your team was part of this week's sweep. I know I'm pretty sure
Man.
that we don't want you don't want to talk about the Yankees getting swept. We've been talking about the Yankees
Oh.
being really good, right? And now we're getting to the point where they got swept. Anything to say about that?
You got to take the good with the bad. Just real quick to go back to the weather thing.
Yeah, go for it.
There was an interesting take or interesting thing here I was reading about. Whereas the studies have shown that the ball travels up to 16 feet less in the cold, and then with the heat, there's a 10-degree increase in temperature can add roughly 3 feet to a fly ball's distance. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just that's pretty. That makes a difference there for sure.
Oh no, it does
Uh,
definitely. Yeah, it has to, and it has to give you that extra, oomph after you swing, right? You're
yeah,
like, okay, cool. I can hit it in the summer, and that's gonna go somewhere. If I hit it in the cold, it's not gonna go anywhere. So I kind of have to use the ground and use my speed on this. Chisholm's not that slow, man. He's a fast runner, so
no,
he can go ahead and put it on the ground somewhere and maybe beat a throw and start increasing that batting average. All right, so we can move on, right? We're good. That one's good.
oh yeah,
All right, so let's talk about the Yankees, man. They got swept by
yeah.
the Rays, and there's not the only New York team that got swept. The Mets got swept as well by the A's, and the A's are 5-1 against New York teams. So what's going on, man? What's going on out there in New York?
It's five consecutive at that. They lost the first game to the Yankees, I believe 5-3, and then
Oh,
after that they rolled five straight victories over New York teams here.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
pretty amazing stuff. And the game today, very impressive victory over Freddie Peralta, who pitched a pretty awesome game himself there.
Yeah.
You get a 1-0 victory on the road for the A's there. So the A's are not the slouches. They're not the doormats that they used to be. We're thinking a couple seasons back where everybody used to beat up on these guys. It's kind of funny. You take them out of Oakland and they have no city designation. Now all of a sudden they're becoming a beast here. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
no sleep. So, but the Mets situation was very interesting on Friday, and it just goes to show Nolan McLean was pitching an absolute gem heading in the 6 innings. There, they take him out, put Luke Weaver in, and he gets the inherited runners on, and unfortunately that goes. McLean had to take the L
Mhm.
on that one. And that was really kind of a telltale sign for where this Mets team is with their bullpen.
Yeah.
Um, it's just like you've got Luis Garcia, who was actually sent down to the minor leagues with a 7.11 ERA. And then Luke Weaver, 8.10 ERA. They've given up a combined 5 hits and 6 earned runs in the last 2 games. So that's definitely not going to get it done. And we talked about Jazz Chisholm, another shortstop, high profile shortstop there, had his errors as well in fielding with Francisco Lindor. I think you saw some of that. There was a
Mhm.
couple of those plays.
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah, and I did. The crazy thing about when you're talking about Lindor, when he's batting under the Mendoza line too, he's not producing. And we have it here. Before I continue, County Skyline says that I just realized no baseball players can go to Coachella, and there's Coachella weekend out here. So yeah, they don't get to go. They're playing baseball right now. But yeah, huge event, huge event. I'm pretty sure a lot of baseball players would want to attend that event, and it's a 3-day event. So if you're out there, enjoy it, have fun. But yeah, going back to the Mets, and it's crazy. I do see Ernie here saying that the Mets suck without Juan Soto. Juan Soto's on the 15-day IL as well, or 10-day IL. I forget which one it is. And
I think
without
15.
him, right? So that's the thing with the Mets. They're probably too dependent on him, and maybe the weather too, because we've seen some of these East Coast teams struggle at the beginning because of the weather, and it does take
Yep.
a toll on these players. It takes time for them to warm up. So, um, a lot of people say baseball is just a sport of players standing around. Yes, they do stand around, but when the balls hit to you, you have to activate those muscles and start running. And if you're not warm, it could do something to you in that cold weather as it is right now. So, we have Lindor batting 188. Yeah. You got Polanco batting 184. The only one that's
Oh,
batting okay is the first baseman Young at 350, and then you go down to Vientos, which he's doing a lot better than what he did last year at 263. You go back to Bichette, which he only started picking it up lately. He's at a 235. Beatty 231. Simeon, which they traded for, he's only batting 190. And that's the thing with the Mets, man. You can't have those type of hitters. You can have the two, 100 hitters, step up, but then you have your top players not performing at all. So, and then like you said, fielding wise, Lindor has been making some bogus decisions out in short where he hasn't been catching the ball correctly. He's been kind of slouching, forgetting how many outs there is, and it's not it's not Lindor. It's not the Lindor we're known to know. So, I mean, there must be something going on in New York with the Mets. I honestly think that clubhouse is suffering, and whether you believe it or not, there has to be something in that clubhouse to where they're not bonding together, because this is the
yeah.
second year they're playing. Pete Alonso didn't sign with the Mets, and that's a big question mark. Why didn't he sign with the Mets, right? So, I mean, it's too
It's a big
is it too
loss.
early? Yeah, it's a big loss. Is it too early for the Mets to panic?
I do overall think it is pretty early to panic on them. They have some pretty good pieces, but I do think their Achilles heel right now, they've got to address the bullpen situation, because you just can't have these guys going with the ERA over 8. You
Yeah,
got to,
yeah.
and that's not going to get it done on the closing level. Their starting pitching is pretty well, with Peralta and McLean. They're spearheading it. But even that's a little shaky when you get to the middle of it. Peterson has had past success, but doesn't seem to be having as much success this season as he has in the past.
Hmm.
Hopefully he'll come in the form there. But yeah, there's definitely time to turn this thing around. And hey, Juan Soto is going to be coming back at some point.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Juan Soto's going to come back. Everything's going to change, and climate change is real. Laughing it out, California. Except for today, it rained. Yeah, and it's humid out here, which is kind of like Florida weather out here in California right now, which is weird to say because we don't expect rain at this time of the year.
Hmm.
From here on out, we should be having sunshine and listening to California Dreams, and I know, but yeah, yeah, no, no, no. This is different weather for us, but yeah, dude, they weren't the only ones that got swept this week. I mean, the Nationals swept as well, and then the
Yeah.
Blue Jays. Wait, no, the Blue Jays. The Cubs almost got swept, but they didn't. The Dodgers almost swept.
Carson Kelly.
Yeah. And then the Dodgers almost swept the Rangers, but Rangers won today, so that was the only thing. And then who else? Was there anybody else? The Brewers getting swept by the Nationals. That's
Yes.
crazy. What?
That
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 was
is
crazy to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
where's Westbrook there? Yeah, what?
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like what? Yeah, that one was the crazy one for me.
Hey, this Brewers team has got some issues right now. They're already without Jackson Churio, hoping that he gets back in the lineup
Hmm.
very soon for them. And then
Yes.
Christian Yelich left. I believe it was the third inning with a hamstring issue.
Hmm.
And talking afterwards, from what it sounded like, it sounds like it could be a pretty lengthy IL stint. This doesn't seem like it's just a day-to-day thing.
Ah.
So that is a huge blow. You're already without Jackson Churio, and now if you lose Christian Yelich, you're losing some pretty awesome bats in that lineup.
Yeah.
Sal Frelick has done very well, but it it,
Not
it
enough.
gets it gets
It's not enough.
slim from
Yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Terang as well. It's not enough. It's not enough
Yes.
to sustain and continue. If you have Yelich out, and that's gonna suck for me because I have him on my fantasy team. So hopefully it's not a long stint in the IL because I need him. I need him on my team. Damn it. But yeah, that one. I think the problem with the Brewers is that they have these players and they don't have their bench to go to and have these players step up. So Um, I mean, but the rest of the Central is not doing so well either. You see the Cubs as well. We were going to talk about the Cubs, but they won today, so they're not in last place anymore. But
Yeah,
imagine if they would have lost today, they would have got swept. And there's problems out there in Chicago too. You have players that, um, I mean, are not performing, and that's the problem. So we will see as the year go by and the temperature goes up. I think the team should be fine. But yeah, dude, it's one of those crazy things that I feel like these teams need to go ahead and start stepping up, because some of these teams are going to start taking off. And we did talk about the Yankees in previous shows, that how they're in the toughest division, and if the
oh
Rays
yeah,
are in first place right now. Like, I didn't expect that
that
to
is
happen
wild.
this year. Right? Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. And then when you look at the East, and I'll go ahead and put it here. It's you have Tampa Bay Rays at 8-7, the Yankees 8-7, Baltimore 8-7. So you have three teams above 500 in that division, and you have Toronto, where you have all these injuries happening
Yeah.
with them, and it's just an injury bug. Every team gets it, and they're getting it at the beginning of the year. It's better now than later, right?
Yes.
And then you have the Boston Red Sox, which they won two in a row. That's a good thing for them. They should be in the mix in the top, but I mean, it's still early. It's still early. Still early. And then we go to the Central out there. We talked about how the Cubs were playing. They won today, but they're still in last place. You have
Yeah.
Milwaukee dropping to fourth place. You got Pittsburgh in first place in a 9-6 uh, record. Did you think that was going to happen for the Pittsburgh Pirates to be on top of this
I
division?
Of course, no, 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 not at all. I don't
Yeah,
think anybody had them on their bingo card as far as who was going to win or who's going to be sitting atop the division.
yeah.
It's just overall craziness of like how wild especially the first part of the season can be. I
Hmm.
do think they're going to tail off,
Yeah,
or maybe not. I don't know. There might be a little something here to this team.
yeah,
Uh, they got to get O'Neal Cruz to play better than the outfield than what he's done, but
yeah.
that that's a little wrinkle there. But yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty wild thing to be seeing the A's and the Pirates. If you would have told me like before the season started, the A's and Pirates going to be the top of their division, like even right now, I would have looked at you like you had three heads for sure.
Yeah, you have the West as well, where you have I mean, the Dodgers are on top, right? But then you have the Padres are playing good baseball again, and they've had two walk-offs this week
Yeah,
alone. They swept the Rockies as well in a four-game series, which is really incredible. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying the Rockies ain't nothing, but they are getting better players, and they're only going to get better, just like the White Sox, just like the Marlins, and then just like we're talking about the Pirates. Those four teams are one of those teams that are going to get better as the season goes on. I think because they have a lot of players in the farm system, and of course, I don't know if you guys heard, but Jamal's going to give us that prospect Wednesdays, and we're going to start learning more about these prospects because of Jamal. And I like those clips that you have, and we've been putting them up, and we've been getting a good reaction from them. And we want to thank you for that because I'm learning so much about them
thank you.
too. So if I didn't know you and you were posting that, I'll go ahead and listen because I want to know about prospects. Who doesn't want to know about prospects? Those are the future players of the MLB. So thank you, Jamal, for doing that. And I got to give you your flowers. If I let me see if I have some sound in here. I think I do. Give me a minute. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I just have to do it. There we go, right here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go to the West in the American League. We have Texas in front. They beat the Dodgers today, and then they're tied with the A's. And I was about to say Oakland A's, but they don't have a town, so they're
Yeah,
just.
I know, right?
And then the unexpected team, which is Ernie would love that they're playing good baseball. It's the 500 team, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They're doing pretty well as well. We've been
Yeah.
hearing Soler has been tearing the ball up. Are they playing the Yankees this week?
They are playing the Yankees starting tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And I joked around with Ernie earlier, and I was like, Yankees better hope that suspension drops on Soler right now so he doesn't show up to Yankee Stadium here as hot as he's hitting the ball right now.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, all right, cool. What else? What else? What else? Do we have? No, that's it. I think that's all the teams we've been covering, and I mean, this is helping out a lot because we have that Wednesday show, we have the Sunday show, and it kind of focuses on more of the stuff that we talk about, like we see. Sometimes we used to miss plays, or we used to miss topics because things would happen on Monday. We wouldn't even talk about it till the next week, which was Sunday. So now it's helping out with the Wednesday show. So yeah, we have Melanie saying no. April showers bring May flowers in California. I mean, when we were kids, it used to like rain in April, and now as we got older, it's kind of weird to see it rain. And this today was one of those perfect examples. It rained out here in California, which is weird, So, yeah, it's just something that we're not used to, but we do want those showers. We need those showers, of course. Let's see. We got Ernie, Yosio, Kukishi. I can't even. Gonna lay meatballs all down. Oh, he's talking to you.
Yeah,
he's talking to you, Jamal.
Yeah,
he is here.
he's saying Kikuchi is going to be. You say Kikuchi is going to be laying all kinds of stuff there for those Yankee hitters. I hope so, Ernie. I hope so. I hope it's. We need Stanton and Judge to get all. Judge hit number 4 today. That was nice. Yeah, after he's been slumping a little bit.
Yeah, but, and I have him on my fantasy too. So you need to talk to him, Jamal. You need to tell him. Carlos said that you need to step up and start hitting some home runs. He's my kid. He was one of my keepers, man. He's really expensive, so I need him to like show up. Like I can't call him. I can't be like, hey, what's up, man? You need to hit some home runs. I need to win this week.
It's like, hey, yeah, you can't be like, hey, I'm not gonna keep you if you don't hit these home runs. I'll be trading you to somebody else in the league here.
I'm pretty sure people will take him right off me, and they'll send me some players. But I'm looking for 5-6 players for him, prospects if they have them. So let's hope the flower. What is it? Let's hope for flowers. We need some positivity, of course. Positivity in the air is always good. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, we got the last question on here, and I have a little. This is new to us, so. If you guys have a chance to vote, or let us know if you guys can vote, because we just got a new update, and I want to make sure that it's working. So let me see. Let me know if you guys can see it actually. So the question is, are we ever going to see a complete game no-hitter? We just talked about how Shota Imanaga was pitching in the Cubs until the 6th inning. He had a no-hitter, and they took him out because he had 100 pitches. And with that, I felt like, all right, if they take him out with 100 pitches in the 6th inning and he's throwing a no-hitter, are these managers just going to monitor these pitchers and say, you know what, I'm just going to take him out. I'm not going to risk him getting injured. And are we ever going to get to see someone throw a no-hitter? Because if you throw a no-hitter, you're not going to just throw 100 pitches. You're going to see more than that, right?
Yeah. And there have been.
Go ahead.
There have been some instances where I forget. It may have been last season or a couple seasons ago where Framber Valdez pitched. It wasn't a complete game, but it was. I want to say 7 or 8 innings, and he got around like 100 pitches. Was very efficient. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's a possibility if somebody could like really be on it. But it would just have to be a near flawless effort, I think, in order for it to happen. But I'm not saying it can't. I think we have some pretty awesome talents out there that could pull it off.
Let's talk. Let's see. Okay, so if we have Paul Skeens in the 5th inning at almost 100 balls and he's throwing a no-hitter, are you going to take him out?
Oh man, it's tough. Yeah, so.
I have to put you on the spot.
I know. That is so tough because, I mean, I was thinking about that last year with Schlittler when the wild card game against Boston there for the clincher. He had a pretty – I think he was close to or had a no-hitter or something heading in and to the 7th or 8th, and they took him out. I can't remember which it was, but yeah, I think for me it would depend on where they were at in the season.
Okay.
It's like if we're kind of early there, maybe let him go. But yeah, very hard to do that, especially with your ace. It's very 50-50 because then
Ah,
you're, like you said, a couple weeks ago, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
yes.
And, I just think that like basketball terminology where, Phil Jackson would have the reins on Kobe Bryant when he'd want to play a full 48,
Yeah.
but he would only play him 35 for the regular season, where Mike D'Antoni nearly ran him to the ground, and then he ended up tearing his Achilles because he pushed himself and he played 48 minutes per game there down the stretch just to get the Lakers to the playoffs. So I think about things like that, and I'm like, okay, maybe I would pump the brakes a little bit depending on where we're at in the season.
True. And not only that, but it also has to determine what inning they are in. Like, let's say they're in the eighth inning and he's at 100 pitches, then you can possibly be like, you know what, the ninth inning, he can possibly get away with 15 pitches or 20
Yes,
pitches, and then I can take him out. But
yes,
it's gonna be one of those things where fans, we're gonna realize, like, I mean, Jamal, we used to see the games in the 90s. They used to throw 230 pitches and we wouldn't even know, right? And
right,
if we saw the bullpen, that meant that the team really, or the pitcher really sucked. So that's why he's in,
right, yeah,
right? So,
this is
I mean,
true.
so more of the people that are older, and I mean, we got to see those Tom Glavins, we got to see those Greg Maddox, and they would take the game all the way to the ninth and wouldn't show that they're tired. But nowadays it's different. Their arm angles are a lot different. They're throwing a lot more junk. They're throwing a lot more faster than what they did back in the days. Or I mean, maybe someone can say, hey, you're wrong. You're wrong that they used to throw a lot harder back then than they do now. Well, that's a debate, right? But
Yeah,
I honestly think it depends on what inning they are, depends where they are in the year, like you just said, and of course, I want to see a no hitter. And
yeah,
if it's in that 100, because I come from a team that they took a pitcher out in the 100 pitches, and it was in the eighth inning, and that was Julio Urias back in 2022, I want to say. He was having a no hitter, and they took him out, and Dave Roberts took him out in the eighth inning, and they asked him, "Oh, I would have took anybody out if he was there, even if it was Kershaw." And I'm like, oh, really? Would you? Would you have taken Kershaw? And it was a little bit more beyond the mid of the season. So I don't know. It's kind of
yeah.
like it's kind of 50-50 to me. Um, we are having people answer right here right now. It's we are going to
Oh,
see.
sweet.
We have 67% of the people are saying that we are going to see a no hitter, a complete no hitter, not 3 or 4 pitchers throw it, a complete no hitter by one person, and then we have 33% no. So if I was to vote, I'm sorry, but I have to say no, because I feel like we're not going to see a performance that's going to be a pitch under 100 pitches, and it's just too hard, man.
Yeah.
Especially with the what do you call it, the pitch,
The pitch clock.
the pitch clock. You have the pitch clock going. You have the strike zone, which you can challenge it, and it's so many things that are affecting that right now. So, I mean, what do you think? Are you yes or no? I don't remember what if you said
I,
yes or
I
no.
think I think with given the right player and circumstances, I do think it can happen. I
Okay.
do think I do think there's still a possibility of it. I'm not
Thank you,
going to rule
Ozzy.
it out.
ABS. Yeah. You're not gonna rule it out. Thank you, Ozzy. You said ABS, and I got stuck on not saying it. See, this is what I mean when they put
Oh,
the
okay.
mic when they put the mic right in front of you. You forget so many words, man. And that's what happened to Chaz Chisholm, I think. So I'm defending them. I'm defending them. All right, one more question, man. One more question. I have this is a question that they asked me at work. They asked a lot of baseball fans asked me this. Should they add more challenges to the strikes to the ABS system, or 2 challenges are enough?
Ooh. Yeah. Maybe one more. Maybe give them 3. I don't know.
3?
That's a yeah.
You,
I
you
don't
think
know.
so?
Yeah.
You don't
I
think
don't
2
know.
is enough?
I don't know.
Look,
I don't.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I mean, I'm also I don't want the game to be stopped constantly, though. That would be a huge. But it doesn't seem to take that long for the challenge to happen. So yeah, I don't
I
know.
I honestly think too it's good, but it's more of a strategy. It's more of
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to my challenges at the beginning of the game. Unless
Yes.
I really have to use it, then I'll go ahead and do it. But you were fine without it last year, so you should be fine rolling with only two, and then you have to be strategic for it. So I mean, I think two is enough. If you get two wrong, like in the case of the Dodgers today, I got to see that they challenged two and right away they took them away. They didn't have anything for the rest of the game from I believe the third inning on. So
Yeah.
and there were some questionable calls too, and then that's it. You use your challenges at the beginning of the game, and you rolled the dice and you got it wrong. So I
Yeah.
think two is fine for me. I don't think
Yeah.
adding more. I don't think it's fair. I think two is fine, and I mean I'm pretty sure they're going to take it to the winter meetings this year, and they're going to talk about it, and they're going to say, "Hey, do we need to increase it? Do we need to lower it? Or that's fine." So we'll see. But you say you don't know, so I mean, at least
Yeah. The way
right.
after hearing you put it the way you did, yeah. No, I could. I think I would stick with two. I think. Yeah. I agree with that. I can
the
roll with
strategy.
that.
The strategy. I mean,
Yeah.
Aaron Boone, he got it down.
Yeah.
He got it down. So I got you. I got a trivia, man, for you. Do you know where
Oh.
The Yankees originated from, and what was their first name?
Oh man, alive! I should know this one, and I am.
And if you don't
Oh,
know, don't feel bad. I mean, it's that I don't know a lot about the Dodgers. Like I mean, yeah, I try to,
yeah.
right?
There. Oh, so it's the tip of my tongue. There. I feel like there was something asked her about this the other day.
It
I don't
was.
know.
It was, and that's where I got it from. I'm like, okay. They asked this Yankee fan if he's a real lifer, if he's a big time Yankee fan, or he's just a normal fan. He's a big time Yankee fan. And when it got to question number 7 or 9, I forget which one it was, they asked him where did the Yankees come from? What was their original name? And the guy couldn't answer. And then he said Orioles, and then he got it right. So they were the
Oh,
Baltimore Orioles. That's
wow.
crazy.
Okay,
Yeah,
that is
1901.
wild.
That is wild.
Wow.
So if you didn't know, there you go.
Wow, you learn something new every day, and that's even more of a wild thing. Growing up in Maryland, and now seeing this connection here with the Orioles and Yankees, man, that makes it even more wild.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Aussie is saying that add mercy rule, and we talked about this when we were talking
oh,
about the WBC. And a lot of people will put it to a vote next week, or actually, we'll put it to a vote on Wednesday. If people agree with adding the mercy rule to the Major League Baseball season, and maybe I don't know about playoffs, but maybe during the season after certain runs, the game can be stopped, and after certain innings, the game can be stopped. So I agree, Ozzy. Like, I think I was one of the ones that were kind of saying that we should go ahead and move forward with that. You get the same amount of game time anyway. If the game's going to last 2 hours and 30 minutes, with those 15 runs, it's going to last 2 hours and 30 minutes as well. So you get to have fun with both of them. So yeah. Why did why have Rojas come out?
Rojas come out.
So Rojas, his dad passed away, I believe
Yeah,
this past week as well.
yeah,
So he's dealing with that, and he's I'm pretty sure whether you're trying not to think about it, you're gonna think about it, and those type of
yeah,
things happen. And I'm pretty sure his family is reaching out to him, and usually happens during game time. So he has to take care of business because he's playing with the Dodgers. He hasn't gone you know, to Venezuela where his dad is at. So once that happens, he's gonna have to leave the team, and he's gonna be out there. He's probably gonna take the 2 3 days out there and be with family. And he played the day that he passed away, which
yeah,
is incredible. A lot of people have the courage to do that. I know I wouldn't have the courage, or maybe who knows, right? But he played that day because he felt like his dad would want him to play, and That's what he said. But yeah, he's not injured or anything. He's just, he's just dealing with that stuff. And hopefully, once he knows that he's gonna put his dad to rest, he'll be fine and he'll be ready to, be out in the field every day or whenever the Dodgers need him. Well, we reached that point in time. Jamal, good show, right?
Oh yeah, awesome time. We had a good time, and thank you all for tuning in. We always appreciate the comments, and it keeps the show rolling, keeps the show fun and interesting. So thank you all out there. Continue to comment away.
Yeah. And you know what? Before we go, Jamal, I'm gonna share the story, man. I was driving home on Friday and Jamal sent a voice memo and he was just talking about how he was worried. And I'm like, whoa, wait, what's going on? Is Jamal okay? Or, like I'm listening to the message and he's worried about the Yankees. And I'm so I'm like, okay. So I just started laughing in the truck driving home from work, and I just felt like saying this story because that's the energy Jamal brings to this team. I know he has good jokes, he has good personality, so you guys will get to know him as the year goes by, and you're gonna get to see what we see and what we hear and what he brings to the table. He's a good baseball knowledgeable guy, of course, and he's a big time Yankee, Orioles. Did I forget any team? Those are the two teams, right? Those are two teams that you root for, and it's gonna be amazing. So it's gonna be an amazing year. We already reached the 1,500 subscribers, which we couldn't have done it without you guys. I know you guys have been pushing and been subscribing, been sending videos and been liking our videos, and that's not easy to do. And sometimes our content is it's okay, and sometimes it's great, sometimes it's low, but we try to provide all the best content for you guys. So thank you guys for all the following and everything you guys are doing for us. We are really appreciate it. So with no other stuff to say, I'm Carlos Baseball. This is Jamal J. Dizzle from Real Talk Baseball signing out.